Hello, and welcome back to X Creek Gaming. I'm X Creek, and today we are going to check out the latest task force for boarding action games. This is from the latest uh, White Dwarf. I forgot the number, 487, something like that. So it's basically Task Force Bhakir, which is for Tome Keepers. I believe Tome Keepers is Ultramarine's successor chapter. Yep, there you go. Tome Keepers. They get reroll a hit roll of 1 with bolt weapons and automatically pass combat attrition tests. That's it. Is that the same as Ultramarine? I don't care. Let's check the rules first. So for mustering boarding patrol list, you can only put troops aside from the character, and as usual, you can only bring one character, and then you can only include Primaris models. This makes the list building quite simple, but also quite hard in a way. Let's check. We'll check the sample list later. We'll check the rules first. For the rules adaptation, there is a rule adaptation. I forgot to edit this. Basically, it's the same as the basic ones. You don't use combat squad, but you use boarding squads. Basically, if a unit has 5 minis in a minimum, you can bring 5 or 10. That because it's troops. I don't think there are any units that have like 3 models. So yeah, for the new enhancements, the first one is Turn the Tide. Psyker models, you can only give this to a Psyker model, so Primaris Librarian. And they get +1 to deny test rolls. And if they successfully deny a psychic power, the unit that attempts to manifest the psychic power suffers D3 mortal wound. Pretty good as like an anti-psyker enhancement. But if your enemy doesn't have like psychers, this is pretty much useless. So I don't think overall this is very good to use. I mean, if you know what you're going to fight against, I guess this is useful. Like, oh, I'm fighting Grey Knights. Oh, I'm fighting Thousand Suns. Then sure, bring this. But if you don't know what you're going to fight, like I'm just going to my local game store and fight a random person, I don't think you should bring this. Just bring something better, like the +2 CP one. That's always useful. And this one, Wisdom of Ages. Each time the bearer makes an Overwatch attack, they just use their normal ballistic skill instead of hitting on 6+. This could be very useful if your leader have a good weapon. Right, let's check the stratagems. The first one is Prescribe Fusillade, 1 CP in your shooting phase whenever your unit is selected to shoot. If the models in that unit uses bolt weapons, 4 models that uses bolt weapons, they have exploding 5s. Not even exploding 6, it's exploding 5s. If your hit roll is 5, it scores additional 1 hit when using bolt weapons. That's very useful, especially if you're using like weapons that shoots a lot. So this could be very useful. Right. The second one is the Desert Cravar, 1 CP in your movement phase. When you open a hatchway, and opening it results in that unit being engaged with an enemy unit, your unit is considered to have charge. This is very situational, but I mean, it's always useful. You pay 1 CP and you get to fight first, basically. If your enemy doesn't have like fight first or make you fight last, right? Quite useful. Alright, next one is Dark Insights, 1 CP used in Psychic Phase. Basically, your Smite deals +1 mortal wound. I mean, it's only +1. It's not like +3 or something, but still, it could be useful. I don't know. It feels kind of meh to me, but sure, I guess. I guess this is useful if you're fighting against like a unit that's hard to damage, like Terminators. I mean, one more wound, always useful, right? Yeah. All right, next one is the Pulpit of Stone. 1 CP used in opponent's shooting phase. Basically, when your unit is selected as a target of an attack, until the end of the turn, that unit gains 5+, feel no pain. Very good for survivability, especially if your unit is already kind of tough. But remember, you can only bring troops, so you don't really have like very tough units. Maybe like heavy intercessors, and that's pretty much it. All right, next, Truth and Honor. 1 CP used at the start of your command phase. Select one unit from your army, and then that unit counts as an additional model. So basically, like double the number of models in that unit to determine control of objective markers. Now, the weird thing is they mention you can only use this stratagem once, but you can only use stratagems once per phase anyway. So does this mean once per game? But why not just write once per game then? I don't understand. I assume it's once per game, right? All right, next one, Veiled Reconnaissance. Use at start of first battle round, select one of your unit, and that unit may move up to 6 inches. And again, you can only use this stratagem once, but you can only use it once anyway. It's only usable at the first battle round, and you can only use each stratagem once per phase. So does this mean once per game? Why bother telling us once per game anyway? You can only use this once. I don't understand. Am I understanding the rules wrong? I don't know. Well, whatever. All right, let's check the sample list. Now, of course, you can switch these around. This is not like the best list or whatever. This is just what I built in like 10 minutes after seeing the rules. Like, okay, I'll try making one list. Also remember that I am not a Space Marine player, so yeah, so I don't really know which of these will be like the best, but this is like my assumptions. So we bring a librarian, right? Because we want to make sure to use the Dark Insight or Turn the Tide if you want. If you don't want to, I guess you can change it. Yeah, if I think about it, maybe you don't really need librarian. Maybe you can bring a captain if you want. A captain could be good. Wait, what does a captain use? Auto bolt rifle? Oh, 402. Actually, captain sounds pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're fighting. If you are going to fight something very tough that you need mortal wounds, librarian would be useful. So you can use it. If you just want to shoot, then use the captain, right? That's an option you can pick. Librarian, warlord, you can pick whatever you want. Doesn't really matter to me. And then you bring intercessors, because this is still boarding action. Having a melee squad with a power fist or a thunder hammer would be very good, or power sword if you want. But I would suggest power fist or thunder hammer because they, while they hit on 4+, they do deal multiple damage. So you will be fighting stuff with multiple wounds in boarding action. So either a power fist or thunder hammer. Pistol, use plasma pistol if you want. This is always useful, right? That's it. Just bring 5 of them. I don't think you need more than that. And then if you want to go shooty, bring 10 heavy intercessors. This is kind of expensive because I think heavy intercessors like 5 models per box. Yeah. But you bring Executor Bolt Rifle, or or this, or Hellstorm. I think Hellstorm would be nice. I mean, Executor Bolt Rifle is good because it deals 2 damage, right? And AP -2, but it only shoots once. That's the problem here. Now, if you want to, you can use a Hellstorm. So each of them will shoot. Hellstorm, and then Hellstorm Heavy Bolter, of course, right? Use it like that, and then when you shoot, you use this one, Prescribed Fusillade, which will have exploding 5s, which means you will be shooting a lot more. Yeah, definitely use Hellstorm. And then the last one is Infiltrator. I just add this for not really flavor, but to counter some shenanigans. Because here's the thing: when I play boarding action, I love to bring units that can deep strike. Now with Infiltrator Squad, they have the Omni Scramble, which will prevent enemies from deep striking too near. So even if like yeah, so even if they deep strike, they have to be set up outside of 12 inches, right? That'll be a problem. Like then people need to roll 12 to be able to charge you, making it harder to charge and harder to put units on your back line. So this is always useful. You don't use the Infiltrator to like fight enemies unless you were forced to, but they're mostly just to hang out on the back and capture objectives. That's their function. Now, if you don't want to use Infiltrator, you can switch this to Intercessor Squad. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. And also, of course, if you don't want to use heavy intercessors, you can always put more assault if you like to go like full melee. But if you're using the Tome Keepers, right, they're focusing on bolt weapons. Like why would you not use these? Like even this assault intercessor, you can probably switch to something else, but I don't think you have enough points. That's the problem here. So maybe you can switch, but like if you don't bring Infiltrator, you just bring Intercessor. So the Assault Intercessor, you can switch with something else, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so basically this is like this is a quick list that I made. This seems interesting, seems good, but I don't know if this will be like the optimal list for the Task Force Bhakir, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's our video. That's my video on the Task Force Bhakir for Tome Keepers. Yeah, thank you for watching and see you all next time. Bye.